Something that came up for me after my last video was, why am I sharing my story and all of this quite personal information? So I really wanted to explore that in this video before I go ahead and share any more details about my past. I've actually told my story many times already in various capacities over the last 6 years, ever since I had my first therapy session. Since then, the content has largely stayed the same in part, but the overarching narrative it's definitely shifted as my understanding has deepened. Anyone that's been through any form of talking therapy will understand the healing power of sharing experiences. Initially, this was exactly the same for me. It felt great just to get it out there and talk about it. But as I started unearthing more deep-rooted information, I found myself using this narrative to project blame. I was seeing myself as a victim, and I needed to lay blame on something or someone for what was happening to me. I felt myself saying, "Why me?" Now I can see that that was quite normal and was actually to be expected. After all, it's the exact commentary that I'd been playing out in my head for so many years as a child. Why am I gay? Why me? But blame is extremely unhelpful and merely adds to the toxicity surrounding whatever story you're telling. I caught myself going around in a bit of a frantic circle at one point, like a dog looking for its buried bone. I needed to make a conscious effort to stop the process and take a break. Otherwise, I just ran the risk of becoming my story, being all consumed by it. Many months later, I felt strong enough to come back to it, and I was actually surprised how my mindset had shifted. I put this down to a few different things that I'd changed in my life, and maybe I'll talk about that another time, but this new mindset was now one of forgiveness, and I was able to recognize that blame just wasn't just unnecessary, but it was inaccurate. I realized that we all have pasts. We all are struggling in some way. We're all conditioned. We all learn to behave a certain way. And in a lot of cases, we believed that that way is the right way. With that forgiving attitude, it became much easier to investigate my own past and tell the same personal story, but in a different light. Right now, I feel like I've gone even one stage further. I feel very lucky to be in this place of acceptance right now, where my focus is most certainly on the right here, right now. I've been able to thankfully move on from my past, not just recognizing that I can't change it, but actively embracing it and showing it some love. I'm not saying that life is easy right now, it certainly isn't, but I found a new energy, enthusiasm, and appreciation for life. For someone who used to have a fully fleshed out career strategy, an evolving 10-year plan, and schedule every minute of his life, I'm weirdly now comfortable saying that I don't really have a plan. Instead, I've got this kind of direction that I'm going in, and so far that seems to be working. I've been blown away by the messages I've received over the last year, not only of support, but of empathy and understanding from people who resonate so much with what I'm saying. It's become clear to me that this is no longer telling my story for myself, but actually this is much bigger than me and my personal narrative. I'm sharing my story publicly for all those people that aren't able to tell their story yet, and I believe that's so important. Even if it just inspires one more person, it's worth it. In my next video, I'm going to go into a bit more detail and expand on my story. And I'll also pick out some key struggles that I think might be relevant. In the meantime, if you have any questions or you'd like to get in touch, please do. Thank you.